Now then, it's Monday morning. How are you doing? I've got a few jobs done this morning, but one of the jobs we started at the weekend, me and the girls, was sorting my office out because it's just full of stuff. A lot of stuff that shouldn't be in there, and it just can't see the wood for the trees is the most appropriate way of saying what's going on in here. So I'll quickly show you what. Yeah, we need to have a bit of sort out anyway. But as you can see, there's a pushchair there. So like, yeah, I'm going to have a bit of a alternative method. I'm going to take everything out and only put back in what needs to be in there. So it's like a reverse decluttering or recluttering. One example is I bought a 3D printer second-hand off eBay years ago, and it came with all them. That's all the filament that came with it. All the different spools, different colours, different. Anyway, being a bit of a hoarder, I just can't. Well, I haven't touched them in years. Well, I've had it 4 years, and I'm never going to use them. So, and half of them are empty, nearly empty spools anyway, and it's just that little bit that you think, oh, I might just keep that bit. But actually, best thing to do is just get it gone. So, I've only ever used two colours, black and orange. So I end up buying new spools anyway. So we'll get them gone. Yeah, back from Llama, still sorting out, but full steam ahead. We've got a lot to do, to be fair. There's the ATMS, the tank monitoring system. There's a big job to do with that, and then there's two others to install, two standard ones. So we've got to make the brackets for all that lot. There's an order of calf prams to get made and get away for powder coating. What else is there? I always forget. Well, there's a load of weeders due to land March time. What else is there? I always end up forgetting. I have a list, but I always end up forgetting. As soon as I stop recording, I remember what I was to do. There's a couple of compact front box jobs that are a bit different to sort out, and they've been on the go for quite a while, so, well, too long really. So I need to get them done. There's a bit of a bespoke project to do that I've spent quite a bit of time thinking about it, and that's what people don't necessarily understand is, like, stuff doesn't just come to, like, you don't just drop on ideas, you have to think about it, and I end up thinking about all sorts of different things, so then you end up thinking a bit further and a bit further and a bit further, and every time you think about it, you get a little bit further, and you're like, right, that's the way we're going to do that, because that'll solve that problem. It's not just, sit down, look at a computer, and ta-da, there's your solution. Different people do it differently. That's just the way I end up doing it, which is some of the reason why stuff takes longer than it probably should. But invariably, not being big-headed, but there's not often. Yeah, occasionally stuff does go horribly wrong, but most of the time, with the first version, we'll get 90% of the way there, and then the other 10% just comes over incremental changes that are normally due to unforeseen things that you sort of, you try to think about it every which way to rule out as many things as possible, but you can't just get everything. So, yeah, and then there's there's two LAX line orders to go out, one to go to North Wales, one to go to Switzerland. They're due to land shortly, so they should be getting sorted out. There's a trough back surround job to finish and send out. There's, what else is there? Yeah, there's just a fair bit going on, which is what we want. We don't want to be sat around. We don't want to be bored. There's plenty of problems to solve, so we'll get on with it. I've just been to get the trailer and I'm heading up to Washfold to get the Silo Crab. The first one I built, it was the bucket that they were using for collecting up the leftover feed, and we basically bolted two hydraulic doors to it to collect up what was left, instead of them having to manually dig it in. It saved 45 minutes a day, paid for itself pretty quickly, because that soon adds up, made a job that no one liked doing a lot more pleasurable, and it's been there since March 2020. It's done a lot of work. It's done about 1,000 metres a day, every day, for nearly 5 years. It has had some repairs done to it already. It's probably going to take more doing than I expect to sort it, but we're going to fix it so they can use it, and then get the parts to make up a complete side, just because it's I think we aren't going to get it strong enough for it that it won't break again. Anyway, we'll go and get it. And yeah, what's quite entertaining about the silo crabs is the comments you normally get on social media. One of my customers, Red House Holsteins in Northern Ireland, bought one, and you go on there and read some of the comments, and it's just entertaining because some people don't get dairy farming. They don't think there should be any leftovers, which, if you know dairy farming, you know there always will be, and there should be, because if there isn't, your cows are too hungry. There's some people say they're weak, which there's a reason why I build them complete now. I don't strap doors to existing buckets. In fairness, it's taken some abuse. It has been abused, and it's always going to be, because that is a farm that is working flat out 365 days a year. It only gets used for a couple of hours a day, but it's worked every day. I've seen a video of it being used going up the feed passage somewhere between 10 and 15k, so bashing on. It's been crashed, it's had, yeah, but from my point of view, yes, it has had to be repaired, but because it was the first one and because of the way it was built, I'm proud of the way the fact it's lasted as long as it has. I'll explain a bit more because I've got one at home. I'll show you how I build them now, why I build them that way now, and that'll help explain what I'm meaning. I did think it was going to be worse than I thought, and it is. So yeah, it's cracking along here. It's cracked all the way down there. It has been, I think we welded it up before. So yeah, that's going to take some sorting out, is that? But I'll give it a go. So this is one of the silo crabs. This is a small one that I built, and it's sort of too small really. It's 5 foot across, but because I built it the complete bucket, I've managed to put things like that in, which then increases the strength without just making it overly heavy. These side plates are full thickness. It's welded outside and inside in here, so that's how we make them, so they're stronger. Same with the brackets at the back, inside and outside. So the whole mechanism is part of the bucket, and that's why I won't make them as just as the doors now, because they've just got to be, the amount of abuse they're taking, it just all has to be one thing really. And that's some of the reason why the one that's obviously, it's done a lot of work, had a lot of pain, and obviously keep doing a bit to keep it going. I've welded up the silo crab that was broken. It's not pretty, but it'll do till we get the new bits to make it right, to make a whole new side. And yeah, it'll keep them going because it needs to be working every day. So I'm going to go for my tea now, and then I'll see the girls, because if I don't go for my tea and I just carry on working, I don't get to see the girls, and to be honest, what's the point? So yeah, get my tea, get back down here, get it put back together, get it dropped off tonight. I can carry on using it. Like I said, it's not pretty, but it'll do the job, and then we'll get the bits ordered to make a full new side. In fairness, there's a pin goes all the way through here, which is loose. The door is loose in here, but it isn't loose in these ones, and I don't think that's coming out anytime soon as one piece. I think we'll have to cut it, all the joins, and then heat them up and knock the bits out. The door's fine, and the door will reuse. It's just this piece that needs replacing. And so yeah, get all the bits ordered from the laser cutters and get a fresh one made, and also sort of alter it to make these bits come back further, because then it's less likely to do this. And I might even stagger them as well. So make it so that 2 come back further and 2 come back further, but leave them ones, because then your stress is spread more. At the moment it's in a straight line, but if we spread it, and then it's yeah. Dad said about making this plate thicker, but it's already 10mm thick, and I think we can do other things that would be better to make. Well, it's one of them things I'll think about. I might make it thicker, like make it this bit here, make it bigger here as well. It's split here before, and so make them longer as well. There's things I can do that'll make it less likely to do it again. But equally, the bucket was never designed to have these put on. It's a grain bucket. It was 9 foot wide because that was wider than the Manitou it was on. It had to be wider than the Manitou it was on to do the job. And obviously that's the job it was doing, so that's the one we put it on. But yeah, the bucket was never designed to have these strapped to it. It's done a good job. It had a new blade put on it when we put these on, and that's hardly shown any wear. That's spot on, is that? It's because the rubber on the bottom of the doors has done all the wearing. So we've replaced quite a few sets, but so those are the rubbers there. They're doing 1,000 meters a day for nearly 5 years. So it's done a lot of work. I dread to think how many tons of forage it's actually shifted. It's saved a lot of time. I'll work it out, but it's when they started using it, it was basically 45 minutes a day. So it's saved a lot of hours. So yeah, I'm going to go and get my tea now. I said I would work it out how much the Silo Crab has saved over nearly 5 years. So 20th of January, on about the 18th, 20th of March, it'll have been there 5 years. So I might as well call it 5 years for the sake of 2 months. So when it first started working at Washfold, it saved 45 minutes a day. So 0.75 times 365 is 273.75 hours per year. So divide that by 40. So it's saved 6.84 weeks per year. I was driving, but I'm having to stop because the buzzers on my pickup are picking stuff up in front of the pickup, and I don't know why. It's so annoying. Anyway, times that by 40 back to, so 273.75 hours per year times 5 is 1,068.75 hours in 5 years is how much it saved based on 45 minutes per day. So then if we times that by 30 for your machine, your man, diesel, insurance, depreciation, just running costs of the Manitou, which that Manitou would have been used for that 45 minutes, and that operator would have been using that Manitou. So times by 30 is £41,062.50. That's how much it's saved. Granted, knock a bit of that off for the running costs for the rubbers that have been replaced. It has had new hydraulic rams because of the way they were made. I made a cock up, and I paid somebody to cut the ends off and turn them 90 degrees, and basically we could never get them to seal right. And the reason I paid someone else to do it is because I didn't have confidence in my own ability to do it. So I thought, well, that's what they do, that's what they should be good at. And anyway, that was a mistake. Anyway, for those who seem to think they can run vehicles for nothing, we'll just do it based on £20 an hour. So 1368 times 20, so £27,375 it's saved per year based on £20 an hour. 20, so we'll get back to 1368. So in 5 years, if we divide that by 40 for 40 hours a week, which is not normal working week for people, so it's saved 34.2 weeks in 5 years work. So yeah, it's certainly paid for itself. I always have a calculator in the pickup. Normally it's this one, and it lives in the middle of my pickup because I'm always working stuff out. Shut up. I made the mistake of setting off and the buzzer started going off again. There's nothing in front of me, but it seems to think. Anyway, yeah, so that's based on 1,100 cows, 1,100 milking cow, dairy farm, milking 3 times a day, 45 minutes a day saved. But there's quite a lot of other benefits. It's safer for the cows. It's cleaner because the wheels aren't running. The wheels of the Manitou or machine that's on it isn't running where the feed is, so you don't know with like mud or anything you've brought into the building where the cows are eating, because you sort of set off from the feed barrier that little bit. So there's quite a few benefits from it. It's not for everybody, and we haven't sold that many, but for those who it's worthwhile having, it pays for itself. That's it, back together and ready to drop off. And like I said, it's not pretty, but it'll do the job till we get a new complete side. In fairness, I said to Nigel what I was on about, and he said about extending this back 6 inches, which is, yeah, kind of what I was thinking, to just basically spread the load out and try and, yeah, hopefully stop it doing this.